Retirement is harder now than it used to be, says the media. Remember, my friends, the media is nothing but propaganda. I don't know what their end result. I mean, look, I think their end game is to have socialized medicine, socialized retirement accounts, where you have no control over your retirement portfolio or anything like that. Just the government handles it. Why the big financial planning firms, your Schwabs of the world, TIA, Kraft, and all that, fund these groups, I don't understand. But they used to call them useful idiots, and the commies would call the left wing in America useful idiots when they advanced the cause of communism, because they had no clue what they were doing. That's the only thing I could think here. These big firms who finance these statists, these big government statists, are useful idiots. They're basically funding their demise. I think as Marx or somebody, Lenin, somebody says, we'll sell the capitalist the news for which we hang him with. I always thought that was intriguing. Anyway, so this is just so freaking stupid. But LA Times, Dateline, September 29th, 2022. Retirement is a lot harder now. And here's how people are making it by. Ooh, scary. With the nature of retirement as a reliable reward for a lifetime of work is changing with uncertain times. So let's just go back in the history of humanity. When has there ever actually been a time in history where you're rewarded with retirement for a lifetime of work? Nah, it hasn't really ever been, other than probably the last 40 to 50 years. That's it, man. Probably the last 40 years. And the length of humanity, the vast majority of people continued to work until they physically could not anymore. This idea that retirement is this reward of a lifetime is a new phenomenon. And it doesn't mean, and people always say, well, because we all had pensions. No. Silly. People who say that, they obviously haven't taken any time to do any research whatsoever. It drives me up the wall, but keeps me occupied. All right, let's keep going. For some, the high mortality rate of COVID and the unpredictability of the world gave them resolve to enjoy the years of life they had left. Good job for them. Others, though, flummoxed by the sudden drop of the retirement accounts and the rising costs of necessities, opted to put off retirement or even return to the job market. And here's a guy from ARP. They'll look out for it. Trust them. They'll look out for it. There's more of a worry factor to make sure that they have a significant amount, says this guy. And then we got this study. A quarter of Americans think they'll need to delay their retirement because of inflation, according to a BMO poll, which we'll dive into here in just a second. But I want to focus on this poll right here. A survey of retirees by AARP found that 29%, this is retirees now, are either working currently because of financial necessity or expect they'll have to find work in some form. All right, we're going to dive into that survey because it's incredibly misleading. A survey of retirees by AARP found that 29% of retirees are either currently working or expect they'll have to find work in some form. So hopefully you're seeing why this is counterintuitive. So of those 29% who are currently retired, who are either working currently in retirement or think they have to, how many people is that? How many of that 29% are actually working? So let's go into this. So we'll look at the survey. At least they put a link to that. And we're going to come down here and we're going to look at this. And we're going to say, we're going to look at the annotated questionnaire. This is like literally middle school statistics here. It's really, really bad. But at least they give it. So it gives a general population, 1,000 people, age 50 plus. I'm like, okay, I'm 52. So I would fall in this population survey of 1,000 people. Okay. So of those 1,000 people, how many are currently retired and not working? 47%. Of those 1,000 people, how many are currently retired and working? 8%. Again, these are people as young as 50 years old. So 47% of the, we'll just say for simplicity, 50% is retired and not working. All right. So of those people who are retired and not working, again, the 8%, Do you retired and let's see right here, retired and working. So again, 8% of a poll of 1,016 people. That's about 80 people, man. Of those 80 people, for why are you working? 55% said for financial reasons. 40% said for non-financial reasons. So we have a poll of 1,016. 80 of those people are retired and working. Of those 80, 55% said they're working because of financial reasons. We'll just say that's 50 people. 50 people out of 1,016 polled are retired and working for financial reasons. All right. A little bit less than half of retired and working are working for non-financial reasons. Not very scary now, is it? Do you think you will need to work in retirement for financial reasons if you're retired and not working? Remember, retired and not working. And all you have to be is me, 52 years old. That's 40% of the population. So we're looking at basically, for simplicity, 500 people. Of those retired and not working, 73% said they do not expect they'll have to work in the future. Only 25% said they think they will need to. So we're going to focus on the 25 and not focus on the 73. Again, we're talking people as young as me. See how stupid that is? What a stupid freaking and that's it. I don't know what's the average age of these people. No idea. But I love how they say roughly 3 in 10 of retirees age 50 plus are either already working, as only 8%, or already working retirement for financial reasons. It's only 55% of the 8% here, or they expect they will need to do so. That's only 25% of the 47%. It's crazy. Of retirees, or currently, we already talked about that. Yeah, among retirees who are currently working, 55%. So the main reason is out of financial need, means 45% said it wasn't. So again, when I see this right here, roughly 3 in 10 of all retirees are either already working or will expect they'll do so. Of all retirees. And again, all retirees was 53%. I mean, yes, there's always going to be some people who are going to have to go back to work. I don't deny that. The vast majority are not those people. So let's see some of these people who, Renee Ward, she runs a nationwide job bank called Seniors for Hire, and she's seen an uptick in people trying to come out of retirement. What does that mean, an uptick? 3 different people? I mean, let's put a number on there. They're worried and just want to hedge their bets, yeah, because they've been sold the fear stuff. And then I love this right here, too. The labor force of people's ages 75 to older is expected to nearly double because the baby boomers, expected to nearly double because you have so many more people in that labor force relative to what the silent generation is. This is so infantile. If you have a generation of 100,000 people, and then you have a generation of 200,000 people, the silent generation 100,000, the baby boom 200,000, inherently that labor force is going to double because there's double the size of the labor force. All right, and among those aged 55 and older, the number of full-time employees was the highest it's been in data dating to 1986. Yeah, because there's so many more people in the baby boom generation. What's clear is that retirement is no longer simple. Was it ever a simple endpoint? All right, then we got this guy. He's a black guy in Los Angeles. And initially I was like, dude, what the hell? But now I realize what he's saying. He's probably, he was probably around the streets a little bit. He's like surprised he lived that long. So good on him. He did. This guy's trying to help people, man. He plans to spend much of his time mentoring young men, teach them how to fish on his boat, and talk to them about how to achieve his goals, as his granddad had done for him. Freaking, this guy crushes. Sadly, though, he's been taken in by the fearmongers because he has a pension and he has lifetime medical coverage. But, he wishes he had sought expert financial advice instead of relying on guidance from the city that was lacking in substance and detail. A lot of the things I could have considered are things I didn't think about until it's really too late. Like, how much inflation will there be? No one do that. No one knows. How high are prices going to be? Not actually feeling it and seeing what it's like. Retirement is not what I expected. So he's got a pension. He's got health care covered. I assume he has a mortgage, which is why he has to go back to work. Because he went back to work as a paralegal. I've been doing pretty much, think about this. This guy's 62. He's got a pension. I'm certain he's got Social Security. And he's got full health care coverage. And yet that's still not enough for him. That tells me he's got debt coming out the wazoo. And that's his fault. He does have a boat. I don't know how much it costs, but you got pension, Social Security, and health care coverage. You still can't make ends meet. That means you're spending too much. No other way around it. This lady says she didn't want to be that person. She wanted to retire one day after years of work. She'd been working since she was 16. All right. With a good pension plan and putting 10% of her paycheck into her 401k, she's reached the golden 85, basically 30 years of work and 55 years old, or something along those lines. 60 years old and 25 years of work, she get the 85. Her husband, so she has a pension. She's been putting 10% into her 401k. She didn't intend to stop work entirely, but was looking forward to finding some kind of job with passion and joy. Yeah. But her golden year's 85, and she doesn't think she can leave quite yet. She has a daughter who's 14, and she's the breadwinner of the family, while her husband focuses on the child rearing. But he retired reaching the age of 90, and he has a pension too. I think I saw that in here someplace. But then the 401k dropped, and that brought a tear to her eye. Again, I think he had a pension there too because he reached the age of 90. So the golden years of 90, which indicates he has a pension. 2 pensions. Both paying into Social Security. They got 401ks and put 10% away till she was freaking however old. But she's a breadwinner, so she's got to take care of her 14-year-old daughter. I mean, okay, I got no qualm with that. But how old was she? She was 55 or something like that. 54. I mean, I'm just sitting there thinking, again, I guarantee they got debt. Yeah, she's going to stay at this place until her daughter, because the 401k fell, you're going to stay at your place until the daughter graduates from high school, and helping her through college if possible. Yeah, I wonder if she's sending her kid to a private school. I don't know, but my inclination's probably. I don't want to be that person who has to shop at my store and buy nothing but really high carb foods or day old stuff. It's just really sad. Okay. These people feel a bit of anxiety. She's worried she didn't save enough before calling it quits on her career. I have savings, a great pension, and I started saving too late. Again, a great pension, savings. I don't know what she did for her career unless she was a teacher. She'll also have Social Security. With inflation, the cost of living weighing on her mind, she has had to remind herself that she worked with a financial advisor and needs to trust his judgment. I guarantee he has her spending on an increasing basis. I think I could probably consult. I could probably work part-time and help young people achieve their potential. I'm just trying to get acclimated to retirement. All right. Anyway, so there you go. The whole thing is just freaking silly. Do any of these people actually, I mean, look, if you have debt as far as the eye can see, that's on you. I got no sympathy, man. You're going to have to pay that debt off, if that makes sense, before you retire, or you're just going to have to keep working. I don't know. But the black guy with, pension, health care, Social Security, he's got his boat. How are you not being able to do that? Well, because inflation. And then, the increasing cost of living, the linear cost of consumption that we've talked about a million times on this channel. And yet, if you actually look at people who are in retirement, that's what ticks me off about these surveys. The pre-retirees are scared crapless right here. I think we saw, hold on a second, let me find it. Of the retirees, young as 50, who are not working, 73% said they don't think they're going to need to go back to work. Of the retirees who are not working. Of the retirees who are working is only 8% of the population. And even then, only 55% are working for financial needs. 45% of that population isn't working for financial needs. They're working to do something different. They downsize their career. So friggin' stupid, man. But yet, so that's the retirees, the people actually doing it. The vast majority are doing just fine. Again, as we've talked about it's always about 80% or so who are doing just fine. Every single survey, it's the same thing, about 80%. Then we come here. About 57% of all non-retirees, age 50 plus, your old buddy Josh, Expect to work in retirement for financial reasons. Among non-retirees who are currently working, that's me, 63% say they think they'll need to work in retirement for financial reasons. Among non-retirees who are currently not working, 40% think they will have to for financial reasons. So see the discrepancy there? 80% of current retirees are doing just fine. 2/3 of people my age who are currently working think they're going to have to continue to work in retirement, even though there's no evidence of that at all. None. There is none. Not for as many people are fearful of it. It's just so frustrating, man. Crazy. I wish I could I don't really wish I was a fly on the wall. I could hear these clowns, because that made me. I don't want to. It's kind of like when C.S. Lewis wrote the Screw Tape Letters. He said that was the hardest book you ever had to write, because he had to do it from the premise of the devil. He said it creeped him out. Anyway, all right. Let's show me a poll, one poll out there of retirees that aren't happy in retirement. And again, I'm talking the vast majority. Just show me the poll. I'd love to see it. All right, we'll see you.